Last week when I was making the Finding a Path video, I occasionally ran into a bit of a problem with the sweep. But I decided to hold off on that for a video of its own, and here it is. As I was making various blobby shapes with the periodic B-spline, sometimes I would get one that just would not sweep. Or it would sweep but produce a wildly invalid geometry. Sometimes it produced a geometry that looked fine, but then when I tried to fuse it to the shape, it all fell apart. Sometimes it looked good at the beginning. It fused just fine, but then I would increase the radius of the sweep profile and it would blow up. So I decided to investigate why. What it comes down to is that FreeCAD really hates it when the sweep profile intercepts itself. Start in the part workbench. Create a sketch on the XY plane. Create a periodic B-spline and be sure it's got a sharp bend in it. Close the sketch. Create another sketch on the XY plane and put a circle in at its origin. Make it 1 mm in radius. Close the sketch. Attach the circle sketch to the B-spline sketch normal to edge. Create a sweep. Add the profile sketch. Select path and select the B-spline and done. OK that. First thing I see is that there seems to be a kink in the sweep. Select the sweep and turn off Frenet to get rid of that. Now it looks pretty good. Select the B-spline sketch again. Extrude it to the default 10 mm and OK that. Everything looks fine. So select the sweep, select the extrude, and fuse. Something is very obviously wrong. Hit Ctrl-Z to undo the fuse and let's look at the sweep. First select the sweep and the parametric solid from the curves workbench. It did create a solid, but something is still not right with the geometry. If I fuse the parametric solid to the extrude, we still get the anomalous behavior. It seems the problem is over here in that tight corner. You can see that the solid formed by the sweep intercepts itself. It looks fine, and the parametric solid believes that it's formed a solid, but OCCT, the engine that underlies FreeCAD, just doesn't like it. There is a fix. Delete the fusion, and the solid, and the sweep. Edit the B-spline sketch. Using the split edge tool, split the B-spline right at the sharp point, and split it again over on the opposite side to make it 2 B-splines. Close the sketch. You can see it hasn't affected the extrude at all. It's still perfectly valid geometry. Hide the extrude and make the sketch visible. I'm going to hide the sweep profile for now since it's covering up what we want to see. Go to the view pane and increase the point size to 8. You can see that the B-spline has now formed 2 separate paths. Now we need to sweep that profile along each path. To simplify that, I've modified the multi-sweep macro. You can get it from my mixed macros repository on GitHub. I placed the link in the description. If you already have it, just do a git pull to bring in the new macro. Or download the zip file again as needed. Select the profile and the path and run multi-sweep common. Once again we have kinks in the sweep. The macro created a compound called sweeps, so open it, select both of the sweeps and uncheck the Frenet box. That got the kinks out. The intersection is still there between the 2 sweeps, but significantly it's an overlap between 2 sweeps rather than being a self-intersection. So click on the sweeps compound and fuse. It looks exactly the same as last time, but somehow the geometry of it no longer contains the fatal flaw. Select the fusion and the extrude and fuse. That's exactly what we wanted. Just to belabor the point, I'll select the profile sketch, and in the data pane constraints, I'll increase the radius to 3 millimeters. Give it a moment to recompute, and there we are. Not a problem. In an upcoming video, I'll show you how finding the solution to this problem and testing it led me to fall right down a rabbit hole. There I learned a lot more about the deep internals of FreeCAD geometry and created an experimental tool to make all of this easier. If you're not already subscribed, be sure to subscribe now so that you'll see that when it comes out. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video or found it useful, please like, subscribe, and share. If there's anything you'd like to see covered here, please let me know in the comments below.